Hello, Tim.
Hey, Carolina.
You're sitting here in your lovely house. This is Tim Shaw, everyone. And it's amazing. How long have you been living here?
I've lived here for about a little over a year, but I moved from like this ultimate bachelor pad to this family home. So it's been a cool adjustment.
I know. I think the bachelor days are, it's fun to have a bachelor pad, but even as we get older, like Michael and I are thinking about like getting more like beautiful neighborhood oriented, a little safer, a little like more quiet family oriented. It feels nice.
As you grow up, you do things like that. You
like
realize,
adulting?
Yeah, adulting is not fun, but it is necessary at times.
It really, at times, I guess it is necessary. Let me check our levels here. Okay, I think we got this dialed in, Tim. So how has adulting been? How old are you?
I'm 31.
30, wonderful.
Yeah, 30, wonderful. Not for too much longer, a couple of months, I'll be 30.
Terrific.
30, terrific, yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Was that what you were going to say?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm 30 terrific right now.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been a good year. 32 is good. The 30s have been like real life.
I think the 30s are underrated.
Yeah.
I think people glorify the 20s, but think about all the mistakes we made in the 20s.
I was an idiot in the 20s.
My goodness.
I'm just now becoming halfway logical in my head.
Right. So the 30s are, I think, I'm excited. 30, 31 have been great. 32 can only be better.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
And then you have 3 Mendes to look forward to, and 33 Mendes is the one I'm turning, July 30th. My girlfriend comes up with all these catchphrases.
Well, I'll look for your calendar that's coming out with all the dates on. Yeah.
So what have you liked most about the 30s?
I really liked transitioning from an athlete to a businessman. It's been really fun and challenging, and almost creating a new identity for myself.
So tell me about it. What was your original identity and what is your identity now?
What's funny, identity is something that I've struggled with a lot. I think when you grow up as an athlete and you have success and success to the NFL, it really defines you, and everything you do revolves around that life of being a professional athlete.
Everything.
So regardless of whether you want to be or not, it essentially is your identity.
100%.
And
because it's all you've ever known.
Yeah, and it's something that I fought. I didn't want to be just that. I didn't want to be labeled as that or pigeonholed or any of those things, but it really was such a huge part of who I was. So it's been really cool to, it's been difficult to leave that life, but also really great to realize, hey, there is more to life. There is, it doesn't go downhill after the NFL.
Yeah.
Life can get better and more enriching, more fulfilling, things like that.
So what have you found to be the most enriching that you have experienced post-NFL?
Well, when I talk about enriching, it usually involves other people rather than just making my life better. It means making other people's lives better. So for me, that's really involved not only giving money, but giving time to certain efforts and organizations. And I'm really excited about an organization that I'm a part of right now that we're starting. It's called Veritas Elite, and it's a performance company that is going to impact youth through sports performance.
Okay.
So just using people who are excellent physical trainers to influence kids that way, and just be good role models and to be mentors and teach leadership and things like that. So I'm excited about that. We just started in 2016.
How did you get this going?
I met these two guys, these two trainers that are just infectious, and they're so good at what they do.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how can I come alongside and enhance what these guys do. So I'm able to bring some business acumen and some money to help get the program going, and just watch these guys do their thing with the kids.
Okay, because
Yeah.
you also have a football camp.
Yes.
So
I
you
do.
are super busy and super giving back, which I love about you. I've noticed in all the interviews I've read about you. You love spreading joy to others.
I think
Not many people are like that,
Well,
Tim.
Caroline, listen, this is something that it needs to change, because I think you say a lot of people aren't like that. Here's what I believe. They aren't like that because they don't understand how it enhances their own life to go out and impact other people. So when you do something, you know, quote unquote charity work, or, you know, a mission trip, those things, they sound really really religious, or really like goody, but they're not. What they are is they're impactful on not only other people, but therefore they impact you. And so every time I've left a mission trip, or every time I've done a service project, you think, oh, I'm going to go and do good for these people. But you walk away having enriched your own life way more than you could have impacted the people. You're like, the way you feel, the things that you learn, the perspective that you gain.
How do you feel when you do things like that?
You feel selfless. And it's a term that we understand, but it's not a feeling that we experience all the time.
Yeah.
So you have this feeling of, there is so much more, there's so much more important out there than me.
Yeah.
There's so much bigger of a picture than my life. There's so many people out there who need things more than I need things. So you just feel this sense of bigger than me, and this sense of goodness in the world.
Yeah.
And so my hope would be that you would, in a year from now or whenever, you would say, you know what, Sam, a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who live that way, and because we're out here, we're striving for us, right?
Always.
And I've done the same thing. I was trying to make as much money as I could, and we do that, right? We chase things, but in stopping pursuing the money and the fame, and start pursuing things that impact others and serve others, and your life will be just so much better. And it's hard to, it sounds kind of weird when I say it, but it's so true. It just, I want people to try it. I want people to hear my words and go, no, that's not true. Well, just try it one time for me and let me know. But I want you to experience, I want people to experience that feeling of being impactful and seeking something that's greater than yourself.
When did you stop chasing as much? Like, when did you stop chasing, and when did you stop chasing success and fame? When did you really commit to this mindset?
It was a slow process for me. I had such a great model of...
Yeah, who's your model?
Well, what I would call a model of servanthood. In first of all, my parents. My parents are people who, blue collar. Father was a teacher, and my mom stayed at home and took care of 4 boys.
4 boys.
Oh, God bless her.
Oh man,
God
she's
bless
a saint.
her, yes. So I'm not talking about a wealthy family, but they were always showing us how you could give what you have and serve others. They would always loan someone a car. They would always, if someone was in town and we didn't even know they needed a place to stay, they would stay at our house. I mean, just constant acts of service. So I had that model, but it was really in college and in the pros where people started to encourage me, hey, would you come and speak to this group of people? Or, hey, I'm going...
Speak about what?
Well, a lot of times it would be speaking about my faith, and or speaking about my football experience. And anytime you get a chance to speak to a group of young people, you really have to check yourself and say, what do I have that these young people can benefit from? So that's where you start talking about, let me tell them about leadership. Let me tell them about, how did I get to Penn State to play football? How did I get to the NFL? Then you start talking about hard work and things like commitment and dedication. So it was I think it was speaking that really started me on the path of understanding that I could be impactful to other people. And that turned into a service project. So Habitat for Humanity, one of my favorites. Just the fact that you can go out and a group of people can build a house for someone else in like 4 weekends blew my mind.
I know. So many people just sitting around
It's
getting
amazing.
drunk on the weekends. When really you can go change a whole life.
Oh, it's amazing. And people do this all the time. So if we open our eyes, there are so many opportunities. You don't have to give your life away. You don't have to give all your money away. You just give a little bit of time. Once a week, go to an after-school program. I mean, there are just so many opportunities. So for me, it was a gradual process, and I'm not there yet. You know, I still like to make money. There's nothing wrong with making money. It's about where's your heart at, and what's your purpose and all those things.
So what is your purpose?
Man, the greatest question ever asked, Carolina.
I know. Are we all trying to narrow that down?
Life is a journey of finding purpose. You know, for myself, I know that God put me on this earth. He gave me a lot of gifts and talents and abilities. And for a long time, I thought football was my purpose. And I believe it was. But what I more so understand now as I've gotten, 30 wonderful.
Good job.
Is that football is just something I did to express myself. And it was my avenue to be impactful. So my purpose is to positively impact people, and more specifically, positively impact them to find their own purpose. So I do that through whatever it is that I'm doing. And it was football for a time, and now it's business, and it's speaking, and it's serving.
So let's talk about football. How did you grow up playing? Because are you from England? Were you raised in England?
I was not raised there, but I was born there.
That's
I was
awesome.
born there, yeah.
See, just one more layer to your cool
it's
hat.
kind of just something you throw out there, like, oh, hey,
I'm British.
by the way, the queen,
like
the
a
queen
cup,
and
a
I,
crumpet.
the queen and I get tea, So,
You and the queen.
Just a bit of a spot of tea.
Have a spot of tea. Do we have some tea here?
Butler.
Butler.
My butler's on a break right now. So
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
We'll wait till later.
Okay.
It's
a holiday.
So it was. I moved to Michigan, actually, the great state of Michigan.
Okay. Oh wait, hold on. I'm trying to just get all up in your neck, Tim. There you go. I'm a married woman. Okay.
What will the people think when they hear that?
You gotta touch it. It's a nice neck. Okay.
So I moved to Michigan when I was very young.
Okay.
And
From England.
from England, yes.
Why Michigan?
Well, that's where my mother's from.
Okay.
Yeah, my father's British, my mom's from.
So she moved to Britain for love?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Your dad must be one heck of a man.
There's a story in itself, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, us Shaw men, we're quite dangerous.
Clearly, move across the whole country you move across the
Ocean.
world
Yeah,
for a man.
yeah.
Not country. New country. Okay.
Yeah, so it was just growing up with my brother and I, we loved the game of football for no reason at all. My parents were not athletes. And for some reason the game really just kind of spoke to me, and as a 6th grader, I begged my parents to play. And I was in love from that point forward. The game was made for me. I just loved the physical contact of it, and just what was required of you to be great.
What is required of you to be great?
What's required is everything you have.
Okay.
So
you like to give it all, Tim.
Oh my goodness,
you don't half-ass this life.
I don't know another way, really, and it's one of the things I'm most proud of. My ability to commit to something
Yeah.
and give it everything that I have. So
That is an amazing trait, by the way.
it's what I did with football from day one. It was like, as soon as they showed me like, hey, this is what it takes, I was like, oh, okay.
Sign me
I
up.
just went, and it was that what it took to be great for me was working harder than everyone I saw, and then allowing myself to be pushed to limits that I never thought I could reach. So
What happens when you get to those limits and you actually do more than you think you can? What happens there?
what happens is you expand your mind, because what we do is we limit ourselves. We put ceilings, or we put stopping points on. Well, I could never do more than this,
Mm-hmm.
or I could never do more than that. And the problem with that is typically when we put those limits on ourselves. This is life, right? This could be reading, this could be business, this could be whatever. But as soon as we put those limits,
Mm-hmm.
then we actually we subconsciously make ourselves live those limits out.
That's interesting.
It's like telling yourself, yeah, you know what, I'll never get into med school. So you might go ahead and try to study for the exam, but you don't pass it because you've already told yourself, I'm not going to get in, I probably won't. So you study with that in your mind, rather than saying, I'm going to get in. And therefore when you're studying, you're thinking positive, like, I need to pass this, I'm blah, 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 blah.
Planning ahead.
Yeah, and so what's really, the human mind is so powerful. We convince ourselves, right or wrong. And so, for me, it was allowing a coach or a teammate to push me beyond those limits that I had set for myself. And understanding, I remember my high school coach, he said, Tim, look around you. You may be the best of what you see, but there's people out there. When you go to college, everybody was the best of their high school.
Exactly.
So it's expanding your mind and setting new limits and breaking through the old limits.
So when you first felt that, did it feel amazing?
Oh, it's amazing.
Did you get addicted?
It's an addicting thing. We can become addicted to success or to even just achieving things, right? That's why people set daily tasks for themselves. It feels good to check off a box like, hey, I did that, I did that. So we can use that in a positive way, right? You become addicted to getting better, become addicted to improving yourself, become addicted to helping people. These are things that can just propel humans to great heights.
So you love football. You discovered it when you were like in 5th grade or whatever, you said.
Mm-hmm.
So then you set this goal. You're going to go to Penn State. Is that a goal you set?
Well, the goal was to get a college scholarship somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got Penn State.
Yeah. And
How was that?
I had
Walk
a
me
lot
through
of
that.
options.
You did. What were your options?
Well,
of course you had a lot of options, Tim Shaw. You're a Shaw. I know how these Shaw men are.
As a high school kid, I'm not going to lie to you. I was a grown man. I grew up so fast physically that when I was in high school,
Were you a ladies'
I
man?
had... No, it depends who you ask.
Okay.
But,
You've always been respectful.
well, of course. I'm British.
Of course. But of course.
I feel like we've gotten off track.
Okay, we're back on track.
Because I was so physically advanced for my age, colleges were very attracted to me because I was already the size and speed that they needed. So
Yeah.
I had a lot of college options, but chose Penn State.
Why did you choose Penn State?
Penn State was different. It was far enough from home, but not too far. It was blue collar. It was a very storied program, very respected, very big. Kind of all the things I wanted in a college program. And I just really was blown away by the people there when I went to visit. So I had a blast at Penn State. It was awesome.
You love Penn State. And
Love.
you switched positions. Like, you played something at Penn State, and then your first college, was Carolina, right?
Well, first in
Professional.
college, yeah.
So what did you play at Penn State?
Well, so football is a game where the younger you are, the more the coaches will try to find a spot for you. And I was an athlete, so I played running back in high school. I played linebacker in high school. Both those, but every college told me I was going to be a linebacker.
Okay.
But when I got to Penn State, I played running back because I thought that's what I wanted to do. And I had some success, but then they switched my position while I was there. And ultimately I played linebacker, and that turned out, it was difficult at the time, but it really turned out to be a great thing. Obviously I played in the pros playing linebacker, so it was definitely a positive change.
So you went from, you're linebacker, you went to Penn State, Carolina Panthers, then you go to Jacksonville Jaguars,
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Bears, and then Tennessee Titans. Are you changing positions all these teams?
No, just changing teams. So
You started special teams at Titans.
Right. So special teams is not a different position. It's just a different phase of the game.
Okay.
So I think a big misconception about pro sports and the NFL in specific is that you go somewhere and you stay there for 5 years and retire. But a lot of guys jump around teams,
Yeah.
not because they want to. They jump around because one team says you're not good enough, or one team says we have somebody we like better, or
That's humbling.
oh my gosh, oh my goodness.
How does that feel when that happens?
So I was cut. I mean, I was cut four times.
How do you handle that?
Well, I mean, it's very humbling, obviously, but those are the type of things where they really make you check yourself and check your ego, and really, what do you believe in? How bad do you want to play football? Because when the man calls you upstairs and says, "Tim, thank you for your time, but we're gonna let you go," that's difficult. So you need to really want to go through it again and fight for another chance. So
you did that 4 times.
I was, yes, over the course, in my first 4 NFL seasons, I played for 4 different teams.
Gosh, so that's emotionally exhausting.
Oh man.
But was it amazing too?
Well, so playing football in the NFL is an amazing experience. When I was a 5th grader, that's what I wanted to do. So to be able to live out your dream from childhood is really a special thing. But
you're in a special club. Not everyone does that.
It's unique. It is unique. It's a very, very small number of people who make it to that level. But with the good comes the bad, and the bad was being cut, moving every year, losing friends, going through just the instability of not having any job security and no commitment. So just that affects life. It affects everything. So I was so committed to being a football player and reaching my potential as an athlete that it was just never an option for me to stop. So when I got cut, even the 3rd time, it actually just kept making me stronger, because after the first time I got picked back up, and after the 2nd time I got picked back up. So it made me, I knew that I could play this game and I could play it at this level.
Yeah.
So it just built my confidence.
And thank goodness you got cut that last time, because you ended up in Nashville.
Exactly. Finally brought me to where I belong. And
this is where you belong.
It is, yeah. I love it here. And I spent 3.5 seasons here playing, which was fantastic, and really just enjoyed making Nashville home, getting comfortable here, the people, not just my teammates, but the people in the community, and at Cross Point Church, and
Oh, amazing.
you know, just
I'm jealous that you and Pastor Peter are actually like real friends, aren't you?
well, you know,
He's my celebrity crush.
we've gotten together a couple times. Yeah,
He's the coolest person,
he is.
which is our
Now,
preacher at Cross Point Church.
I'm a little bit jealous of his hair.
Oh, his hair
If I could have that hair, I mean,
and his
I probably
style.
would be a movie star, not a football player.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. That
Man.
hair is pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
For anyone listening, it's Pastor Pete at Cross Point Church. This is what we're talking about. You'll see. Google his face. Yeah, so Nashville, you got to Nashville. What was your favorite team? Like, where did you have the most fun?
Well, I was not in. Every city I played in was fun, and every city was a cool city. Charlotte's a great city.
Oh, it is,
Jacksonville, you have the beach.
Yeah.
Chicago, just always
Oh.
something going on. They love football so much. But the reason that Tennessee was special in Nashville, people are so nice, but also just to be living down south and to have that southern hospitality with,
So awesome.
just love to hear. But so I had a blast because I got comfortable, and that was what made it so fun to be valued and to be a contributing member to the team and to have success. That's what made the game so fun. It's the relationships that you build around you that make it so fun. So yeah, I had success on other teams, but it was that camaraderie and brotherhood that I built that made Nashville so fun.
I know. Do you have any favorite players from the Titans? Like, any besties? Well, actually, by the way, your tattoo, which I was asking about earlier, it's so cool. I've never seen a tattoo like this.
Well,
It's
so
all your brothers.
I have the idea of just this concept of brotherly love and the idea that, you know, brothers are made for times of adversity, and so on my arm I have a tattoo that includes my biological brothers, but also my brothers from another mother, you know.
I love that.
It's this concept that I know these guys always have my back, and whether we're still as close as we were, you know, when we were closest or not, it doesn't matter. It's more so I can look back and say, hey, I know this guy, you know, loves me, has my back, and would do anything for me if it came down to it. So just
That makes me want to tear up a little bit.
Oh no,
That's so sweet.
no
though.
crying on the podcast.
That's
Okay,
such a sweet tattoo, though.
And to get really real about it, I got this after I was diagnosed with ALS, and I experienced brotherly love in a way that I hadn't prior. And when you think about football players, you think about these tough guys, right? And not everyone on my arm is a football player, but imagine me, a tough football player, quote unquote,
With the sweetest heart.
with the sweetest heart. Now I have to tell my best friends the news that I've just been given.
How'd you do that?
And so if I could do it in person, I did it, but most of them were over the phone. And what I experienced in those conversations was the deepest brotherly love that I've ever experienced, which was big, strong, scary football players showing me.
Is this a big, strong, scary football player calling you right now?
This is my brother, one of my real brothers. So that was bad timing by him.
Oh, hey, he just wants to be a part of this podcast. Bring him on.
So picture me calling another, you know, intimidating football player and having to tell him that I've just been diagnosed with a death sentence, and to just feel and hear the raw, honest emotion and care for me from these guys, even to the point of weeping and sobbing and together, you know. And that's a real thing, and it's something that just even blew me away in those moments. Like, man, this is someone who.
Okay, and action. Okay, we're back.
So physically, the things that I was doing, I was just starting to struggle with. I'm playing football, I'm playing NFL football, but little things like a punching of my hand or a step of my foot just didn't feel right. And it's hard to explain, but this just didn't feel right. And I was losing strength, my upper body was kind of getting weaker. And so, long story short, the Titans ended up cutting me, my performance kind of dropped a little bit. And I had to keep going to doctors to say, what's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. So ultimately, I finally was diagnosed at Vanderbilt, and the doctor just, he said, hey, I want you to get a second opinion, but I'm very positive that you have ALS.
And at this point, I don't feel like there's like a huge awareness happening. My grandfather had it, so I knew what ALS was. But like, I don't feel like it was like a world conversation at that point.
Not at all. This was April 2014, and if you would have walked the streets and said, hey, what's Lou Gehrig's disease?
Yeah.
Hey, what's ALS? Majority of people would not know.
I know.
And so, it's kind of a big part of my story is the timing of ALS becoming popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So it was April when I was diagnosed. Well, August, the whole world decided to dump water on their head, right? So, and I'm like, this is amazing, divine timing that, guess what, I hadn't come public with my diagnosis yet, so it was just really perfect timing.
Yeah, so you decided to announce it, and you did it on the Titans website, right?
Yeah, I contacted the Titans, and there was rumors flying around already, so some of the Titans knew what I was going through, and I said, hey, let's do this right, let's make a video and really be impactful. And so, for the first time ever, I was trending on Twitter. It was pretty wild.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I got Insta-famous, if you will.
You're super Insta-famous.
Follow me at T-Shaw's Truth.
T-Shaw's Truth, yes. And your website, which is T-Shaw's Truth.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I checked it out. It's
Okay,
T-Shaw's Truth.
good.
Yeah, because T-Shaw speaks the truth.
That's right.
How do you feel like the Ice Bucket Challenge affected the awareness of ALS? Did it help?
Oh, it blew it up, and in such a positive way. The Ice Bucket Challenge was a breath of fresh air to ALS. This blows my mind when I think about it, but the disease that we call Lou Gehrig's disease, Lou Gehrig had ALS in 1927 or 29. That's like 75 years ago.
Totally.
And nothing had changed in that time.
No research?
No, I'm exaggerating, but barely.
Really?
The prognosis for someone is still 2 to 5 years. In 75 years.
Why has there been no research on it?
Because it's not a very common disease, and therefore it's underfunded, and therefore it's nothing's been done at a fast pace at all.
Do you feel like now there's more research happening?
Absolutely. So that's
amazing.
The biggest impact of the Ice Bucket Challenge was not only awareness, but the awareness that led to money being donated that therefore leads to research being done. So there's more being done in the last 5 years than was done in the 75 years prior, right? So, and that's all awareness, and the Ice Bucket Challenge was a huge, huge part of that.
Do you feel like it was part of your plan to have this platform? How do you feel about that with God? Because I know you're super Christian and faithful.
I'm super.
You're super Christian. Tim Shaw, hashtag super Christian.
Hashtag no way.
Hashtag faithful. Faithful dude.
Hashtag I wish. I'll tell you what. First and foremost, I don't like it. I don't like that this is what I'm going through. I actually hate it. And I wish I wasn't going through it. So I wrestle with, is this my purpose? Is this part of my plan? I wrestle with those things, and God and I, we have fights about it.
What do you tell God?
I tell him I don't like it. I tell him take it back, go give it to someone else, because I don't want to do it. I don't want to walk this road. But a big part of me cannot deny the enormity of my platform and of what ALS has brought, and the way that ALS has brought me to the forefront and of being able to speak on it and being able to give a face to a disease that was known as Lou Gehrig's disease for 75 years. Now ALS will never be known as Tim Shaw disease, thank God. I don't want it to be, but I know that I have a platform right now to positively impact this disease and people. While I'm going through it, I can impact people, and so I hate it, but it's here and it's mine for now.
Well, and I guess they say, this life is so temporary. You are being called to use your life in a huge way, which is kind of annoying when you're on Earth, I feel like, It's very annoying.
It's like, I don't want to be used in a huge way. I just want to go eat 2 pharmacy burgers and, drink a beer. So,
yeah.
It's,
you don't want to have to be that faithful every day.
Life is so short.
It is.
And I know that better than anyone that I know. And it's hard. The only way to know it like I know it is to be going through what I'm going through. And it's not fun, it's lonely. But it gives me perspective, and it gives me great purpose. And it allows me to really be impactful. It allows me to make the most of every day. It allows me to really dial into what is most important. It allows me to eliminate a lot of garbage in my life and things that I don't need, and people that I don't need to be messing with, and all types of stuff like that. So
what have you dialed in as most important?
Most important, number one, is relationships, and who am I spending time with, who am I impacting, and who am I allowing to impact me. So those are first and foremost of what is most important. So after that, it's what can I do to leave my greatest impact on the world. And if I'm gone in a year, will I have made the most of what I've been given? So it doesn't mean that I can't take a vacation, or it doesn't mean I can't take a nap. It just means that if I do those things, make that be the priority for that day, and say, you know what, I need a nap. I just need a nap. Yeah. So what? It doesn't mean I'm being lazy. And then when it's time to go and serve someone, and really just being in tune to doing the things that are important. And for me, it's really almost more so of eliminating things that are not important.
What have you cut out?
Well, going back to the relationship thing, there's a lot of relationships in our lives that are not beneficial either way. And we waste a lot of time. Someone wants to get lunch or coffee, and it's that they're a toxic person, and that you can help them. It might not be worth your time. There's someone, it's just a matter of choosing the best option versus, okay, well, I may as well do that. No, if that's not what you're supposed to do, don't do it. It's easier for me to say that than a lot of people, but I know a lot of people who spend a lot of their time doing things that they would rather not do.
Why do people do that? Why do we as humans do that?
A lot of different reasons, but you might feel obligated. You might not want to hurt someone's feelings. You might be trying to do someone a favor. We have endless reasons. It's easier to say yes than to say no. Or, you know what, you just don't know what's most important. Or you're not in tune with what you really should be doing.
So do you feel like over through football, and now through ALS, do you feel like you have gotten really self-aware?
I am so self-aware.
What does that mean for you?
Well, number one is physically. I'm self-aware of every movement I make. ALS has forced me to slow down and contemplate before I do anything. And that includes getting up out of this chair. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that done. So, number one, I'm self-aware of that. But also, it has really forced me to evaluate my time and my energy. So what am I spending my thoughts on? What am I putting into my brain? And then who am I spending my time with? So I'm just so aware of what I want and what I need and what is most important, because I am not under the illusion that the world is under, which is we have time. And
so it's a blessing in disguise.
Oh, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. Now you pay the price for it, but it's a blessing. And for everyone who's listening right now, if there's something that you would really, that you know you're supposed to do, but you haven't done it because you're saying, I know I have time, you're lying to yourself. You're fooling yourself because you don't know. And just because it hasn't happened to you, you've seen it happen to others, where life gets cut short. And so this is not it's not a negative mindset, it's not a morbid mindset. It's a mindset of, if it's most important to you, do it right now.
Why not?
If it's not most important to you, then don't do it right now. I mean, it's plain and simple in that way. And it's not as easy as I'm making it sound, but if your husband says, you are the most important person to me, but then he constantly chooses to spend time with someone else over you, then you're not most important. And that's my point of what you're doing. What you choose to do at that moment should be the most important thing. And it's a difficult way to live. It's a difficult thing to get yourself to that point. But I'm at that point. I'm sitting here right now talking to you because that's what I deem most important. I'm not doing it as a favor to you. I'm not. It's right now is what I deem most important to do. And so I've learned to say no to things that are not. Let's say even good things. Here's where we get caught up, right? There's so many good things. We have so many good options that we can do. It's okay to say no to something that's good. When someone wants you to come and play a song at their charity event, what's a good event? But you know what? Your mission is over here. Maybe your mission is, no, that's not my charity. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with saying no to something. You know what your mission is and you go down that path. So it's my mindset has totally changed. I mean,
what is your mindset is just what is most important to you?
Yeah.
Do you have like a motto, a Tim Shaw motto, like a life motto?
I don't. One thing I don't want to come across is that it's what is most important to me. It means that it's a selfish motto, because a lot of times what's most important to me is doing something for someone else, right? So it could look very selfish, or it could look very outward focused, which is what I really want people to try to get their lives to be, is outward focused. And so for me it's, hey, what is most important? And right now, the point of me talking with you is, I think there's some things, I pray that there are some things that I might say that might impact someone. And this is a great avenue to have them hear it.
Now I'm going to say something and tell me, you might think I'm crazy, but do you think you were kind of like a prophet? You know, like one of those chosen people who was called to this earth to really enlighten people? Because you have always been that in my mind. like a beacon of light, and you've been faithful, but you're never pushy. You know, like so many people who are super faithful, shove it down your throat, and the last thing you want to do is believe what they believe, you know?
Yeah.
You have always been this beacon of faith and, I don't know, just of like a bigger picture. And now you have this big platform. Like, I wonder if you are a modern day prophet.
Wow. Well, thank you, first of all, but I mean, the answer is no. I've never thought that. I've always known this. I have always known this from high school on, is that God has given me a platform, and He's given me the ability to communicate. So the combination of my platform and the ability to communicate, I've really felt a responsibility to shine a light, like you said. And to me, what that means is I want people to see who I am and how I'm living. I don't need to preach. I don't need to shove any religion or anything, or shove an agenda. I just want people to see the way I'm living. I want them to say, man, I want to live like that, or man, why does he live like that? Or why is he different? What is this stuff he's talking about? So I just believe that people are most willing to listen when they know you care about them, when they know that you're not trying to change them or, tell them they're wrong. Because guess what? I'm wrong a lot also, and I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've done a lot of wrong things, but ultimately we're here to love people, we're here to impact people. So I'm not a prophet. I don't think so.
You're the closest thing to one I've ever met in real life.
Very sweet of you to say.
Maybe Pastor Pete too.
Oh yeah.
Y'all two go neck and neck.
He might be more of a prophet than me, I think. Yeah.
It's a close call. Okay, so let's talk about your businesses. Because you are a businessman.
Yeah, I love it.
HOTBOX, which that is thriving.
Yes.
Everyone in Nashville I know goes there.
So HOTBOX Fitness is the coolest, most badass kickboxing workout you're gonna get in Nashville.
I'm still too scared to try.
Caroline.
I know. I'm gonna do it.
Listen, the problem is you'll get addicted to it.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just, you know what it is? It's a place where people go and they just feel comfortable being themselves, right? The group of people that work out there are they're like family, and it's just such a warm and inviting environment. And so I physically cannot take a HOTBOX class anymore. My body won't do it, but I love to just go in there.
Yeah.
Because the energy is great, and I love the staff that work there. It's just a cool place to be, and people are in there getting healthy.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
You also co-own a music venue?
Well, the music venue failed.
Oh.
So listen, I'm not the best businessman in the world, okay? I've had some failures. I was a part owner of 12th and Porter for a while.
I didn't know it was 12th and Porter.
Yeah.
Is 12th and Porter no more?
No, it's going to reopen here shortly.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're gonna own a venue, that's the one to go for.
Yeah, well, we tried a restaurant in there and it just didn't go well. But so hey, we all have failures here and there.
Well, I don't really think it counts as. I really don't believe in failures anymore. I used to think failure was a real thing, but I kind of think it's just a way to redirect your course.
Absolutely. It redirected my money too. So right down the toilet. But,
hey, well, those musicians' lifestyle,
Yeah,
debauchery.
You can't rely on those musicians.
They're all just terrible.
But I have a couple other businesses that
What are they?
The one that I think I want the world to know about is called Music City Loft.
Music City Loft?
That's right.
Okay.
And Music City Loft is their condos, their vacation rentals, downtown Nashville, 4th and Church.
Okay, so baller spot.
I mean, yeah.
Prime
You
time.
cannot get a better location. And these condos are just beautiful. They are, you know, exposed brick and wood beams in the ceilings and just all really unique and cool. And this is where we rent these out on weekend basis. So people come in on VRBO.
Yeah.
And it's just a really, really cool way to come and stay in Nashville.
So it's kind of like a bed and breakfast, but way modern and tied in with what is that?
VRBO.
I never can get that right. VRBO.
Well, Airbnb and VRBO, they kind of do different websites.
So how many do you have?
So I have 15.
What?
Yeah.
And are they getting rented?
Oh, yeah.
So this is great.
Yeah, oh yeah, Nashville is great. I mean, Nashville is awesome. The way that people are just experiencing Nashville now, I mean, just the growth, the tourism, it's such a cool city to be a part of right now. Just the excitement surrounding our city, right? Nationwide, people are moving to Nashville.
Oh my gosh, it's a hot spot.
Yeah, so our partner and I own them, and she does an amazing job running the operation, just a phenomenal businesswoman. And it's just exciting to be a part of the market as it is right now. So.
It's awesome. Any other businesses when you?
Yeah, I do a lot of real estate investing.
That's risky business. You're a daredevil.
Well, you know,
buying all that stuff.
You have to pick and choose the right spots, and it is risky, but in a market,
Nashville's booming.
In a market like Nashville, you have to pick your good spots, and I'll tell you what. Here's why I'm good at what I do. I'm so smart that I partner with smart people.
That's
so,
sign of true genius,
you
right
know, I don't have to be the smartest guy. I don't have to know everything, but I need to partner with someone who does. So I really pat myself on the back for picking great partners, and therefore we work better together.
So you love real estate?
I do.
Have you always loved it?
I have, and the NFL had allowed me to experience, you know, purchasing some houses, and every time when I move or things like that, I kind of was able to start figuring out the markets and how it all works. But ultimately, you need to surround yourself with smart people.
I agree.
You need to always get good advice and always be thorough in the processes that you're going through.
Who has been the greatest influence on your life?
Well, that's a question that brings a lot of people to mind. I mean, think about, I spent so much time around my parents, so they've greatly influenced me. Just one of those things, like little by little, every day. So just such great examples of humans who just want to serve others and do right. And then in football, I've had a couple of great mentors and great men who have taught me that there's more to life than football. And these are guys like Reggie Pleasant. He was a Titans chaplain for 17 years. And just guys like that who I can look back over my life and say, man, these people cared about me enough to tell me that there's more than football.
You wear two different color shoes quite often. What is the reason for this? Tennis shoes and dress suit shoes, I noticed. Like, I saw you all spiffy in a suit. Not today. I saw you all spiffy, though, in a suit, and you had on a black and a brown one. That takes some balls.
That was the ballsiest one I've ever done.
I loved it.
And I'll tell you what, this grandmother that I met at the wedding, where I was wearing those,
she was after you?
She did not appreciate that.
Oh, she didn't?
No, she said, what happened here? I said, don't you like it? She said, no.
She don't care. She's going to tell you.
I'll tell you what, number one, I like to be different. I like to so that's something simple where I can say, you know what, I'm different, and that's kind of my way I say, hey, I'm promoting diversity, right? You all should be different. But I really believe we should all just, you know what, be yourself.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to stand out. Stop following the crowd. Stop doing what everyone else is doing. Come on, let's be ourselves. Let's be original. You don't have to do something crazy, right? But really, it started off as an experiment. I was trying to see if I was an influential person. Like,
You did a little test?
Like, am I a trendsetter? No, but listen, this was years ago.
I love it,
This
too.
was 5 years ago.
I love that you're doing that.
Yeah, now, listen, I think people are starting to catch on 5 years later. Hey, if
You're seeing it happening?
yeah, if you go, yeah, you'll see it more and more.
Okay.
So when you see that, I'm not saying I started it, but
I think you might have.
I might have.
So, and I think you might be an influential person. I think the verdict is out, and it's come back yes.
But I think in the fashion world, I'm not.
Oh, no, you got some swag. Okay, so I want to make sure I've covered all the things I wanted to talk about. Oh, Best Man Tim, tell me about that.
Best man Tim is no longer.
Oh, well, you're my best man Tim.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was it was a fundraising effort that just hasn't really worked out. So
Okay.
now we're going with the T-Shaw Strong logo.
I like that. And you also do a walk.
Yeah,
often.
well, the Nashville, there's really a lot of good stuff going on out there, and I would encourage everyone that find a cause that you can get on board with, right? The Nashville has the Muscular Dystrophy Association, the ALS Association. I mean, they do fundraisers for ALS, so I try to get on board with those and just help them with their efforts they've already got going. Just bring my added little oomph to it. So those are a couple things I've jumped on board with, but I would encourage people, find whatever that cause is that you can feel connected to, and find something that they're doing and help them out.
So you love to travel. You are like quite the world traveler. You're kind of a daredevil too. Where have you gone and where are you going?
Oh,
And why do
man.
you love it?
Well,
And then we gotta wrap this up in like 5 minutes.
All right.
I'm trying to keep these at an hour.
That's good, yeah.
Because people get bored after an hour.
Wake up. If you guys are asleep, that I put you to sleep, wake up.
Wake up! This is wake up call. No, I think everyone's wide awake.
So, I love an adventure. I mean, like, tell me, like, when you did, Amazing Race, that's like the stuff that I would just kill for, right? I love that stuff. Like, just show me where the cliff is and I'll jump off, right? It's like, that's the kind of guy I am. And so I've been to Brazil to dig wells. I've been to Costa Rica. I've been to Haiti a few times. I mean, I've done all types of cool projects. I've been places to serve. I've been places just for fun. Last year I went to Australia and New Zealand. I bungee jumped off the Auckland Bridge. I mean, I love that stuff. This year I'm about to go to the Super Bowl, actually. And I'm about to go from there I'm going to Australia again. But I'm going to go to some different parts that I haven't been to yet. And then I'm going to go to Bali and Hong Kong. So
amazing.
I just love an adventure. I don't have a bucket list. So show me an opportunity and I'll jump at it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how
I
I
love
am. Yeah, I know. I feel like you can either make your own opportunity or you can jump on something that comes by. So I'm all about just taking advantage of what's put in front of me.
YOLO.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? That wasn't popular long enough.
I love YOLO.
Like, it fell off too quickly. We need to bring that back.
Let's bring it back. Michael says it, my husband, like every day. Because he's always trying to do stuff that I would probably say no to. But it's like, babe, YOLO.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I want to play a little game with you. Just a few questions, just rapid fire. It's not really a big game. How much money would it take for you to tongue kiss a monkey?
Oh, like $5.
I know. I mean, I tongue kiss dogs all the time.
They're pretty cute.
You know, when you go to Bali, they have a monkey rainforest.
Well, I'm not gonna kiss them.
How would you feel if you were forced to unload an 18-wheeler full of Skittles and organize them by color? And what would your strategy be?
Well, I would use a leaf blower to get them out of the truck, but I would unload them into buckets, and then I would eat all the red ones, so that would like eliminate one color you didn't have to sort.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
After that, it would really just be kind of a random guess and check method. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, stop. Leave your light, which is leave some inspiration for us.
My light. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you want, make sure it is the most important thing.
I love that.
I think evaluating what it is you want and what you're doing is really, really, really important.
I love that, Tim. Thank you for an amazing interview, Tim Shaw.
You're the best podcaster ever.
Could you tell everybody that?
I just did.
Like all the people that can make this a hit?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, everybody. It's endorsed by Tim Shaw. Listen and tune in.